I wrote a reflection for the Alice Project, dispelling the myth of people earn what they deserve. When I was a certified nurse assistant for more than a decade, I saw the tiered pay schedule decided on by our current business and economic model. Doctors, surgeons, and administrators are at the top, then RNs, then CNAs and janitors. We're at the bottom. The direct care service workers are usually the lowest paid, but those are the ones who do the majority of the direct care. As a CNA, I would answer call lights and do all daily tasks. If a patient was hemorrhaging, you were there cleaning up the blood. As a nurse's directed care, if a patient pulled their catheter out, you were there changing the bed with the patient in the bed. If a homeless man was brought in and needed a bath prior to the doctor serving him, you gave the bath. If the man continued to urinate on himself over and over again, you gave a bed bath over and over again to get him ready for surgery. You tried to be as gentle as you could as you rushed through your tasks. You answered all calls for help in the bathroom. I provided direct care where the patient would be safe, clean, free from distress, and nurtured in their final days or in their days prior to going home. I never earned what I deserved and would work 12-hour evening shifts when possible in order to pay my minimum bills. We now see that workers such as CNAs, poultry line workers, grocery store clerks, and janitors are being termed essential workers. And it's good to recognize that service work, but they are also being asked to risk their health and the health of their families to do this essential work during COVID. Most of them are paid less than a living wage. All work has value, just as all life has value. Even the person experiencing homelessness, standing on the corner with a sign, is doing some type of work. Living in poverty itself is full-time work. You are never able to look away, and that is why some fall into unhealthy addictions, because poverty ravages your soul day and night. People earn what the economic model tells them they can earn. It's not fair, it's not just, and it's not what people deserve. I have come to believe that universal basic income and a living wage and health care for all is essential for all living on this planet. My current work entails volunteerism and temporary paid work for the census. I volunteer with a refugee family. They're my friends. There's 4 children. They're in 4 different schools. Their mom is a widow and works at the chicken processing plant. They arrived in Fayetteville less than a year ago with literally nothing except the clothes they were wearing and 1 suitcase. What advice can I give to a family who speaks fluent French, not English, not well yet, and lives in poverty every day? Do I just tell their mom, work hard at the chicken plant? She doesn't earn a living wage for 5, a family of 5 in our area. We also know there are current workers positive for COVID in the chicken plants. So she's risking her health and the health of her family by working there. She earns just at $12 per hour. She's requesting that I help her with 2 older children get jobs this summer to help supplement their income. The children missed out on so much education these last few months due to the education system itself not understanding systemic poverty and their lack of access to computers, internet, no transportation to go pick up the food, the school supplies, and of course the language barriers. I'm also a volunteer with the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. This is a national movement. People of many faiths and no faiths are part of this. We're advocates, and mostly we're people who experience poverty or racism, environmental issues like lack of water, and those harmed by the military-industrial complex. We are the ones that are centered to speak. Our purpose follows what Martin Luther King Jr. lived and breathed: to address systemic poverty, systemic racism, ecological devastation, and to move America from a war economy to a peace economy. But mostly, we work on changing the narrative of America, that false narrative, like the Alice Project was talking about, that gives us untruths such as you are paid what you are worth, and that you can be an essential worker, but as an essential worker, you do not deserve essential benefits. In the campaign, we sing about everybody has a right to live, everybody has a right to love, everybody has a right to dream, everybody has a right to health care, everybody has a right to a living wage. Policy change is needed, and we work on that. We're a nonpartisan movement. We want to talk about poverty to the Democrats and the Republicans, the Green folks and the Social Democrats. We want to talk about poverty with everyone. Truth needs to be told and heard. This movement aligns with the Alice Project. That's where I move from. That's my center. I follow a Jesus who I read and understand through study and prayer and life experience to be a social justice radical. The early Christians were radicals in that the institutional systems of religion and state did not match the vision God's kingdom gives us, the vision that Jesus brought and lived, which is God's preference for the poor and the radical table inviting that Jesus did. We do need a table where all are truly invited, valued, accepted, listened to, and empowered. The tables in faith communities of the day, corporations, nonprofits, and government, especially government, are not radically inclusive, and they don't center the poor or the marginalized. I suppose my prayer in my life is to help build the new table, a society that is equitable, and a society where you are paid at least a living wage for any and all work, where all people have equal access to health care and their current basic human needs met. Anything less than that is violence. As you can see, I'm an older woman, white skin, much privilege, and access in today's America. This is going to take all of us, or at least a whole lot of us. So if my story can help bring you into the struggle for social justice, that would be lovely. Those marginalized in our society have already been here for generations. They've been doing the work and speaking their truth. You would be welcomed no matter how early or late you begin. I don't know if poverty has chosen me or if I've chosen poverty. It's likely some mix of these two. But I say and work for and stand in the streets in direct action and shout, let's pay a living wage for all work and secure all people with a basic income. Let's end systemic poverty, for it harms all people. Let's dismantle the systems that allow poverty to continue to exist for some people. And let's truly bring all we have and all we are and all people to the table. Our fullness and our completeness as humanity demands that we all be there, be present, be accounted for, be loved, engaged with each other, and able to speak our truth. Amen. Namaste.